Hello, all you science fanatics. This is All the Science, the podcast that describes an interesting aspect of science in 5 minutes or less. My name is Sam, and I'm the guest podcaster for this episode, Bacteria versus Viruses. Today, I'll be covering some of the basic differences between the two and how these infections are treated. First off, you may be wondering, Sam, what is a virus? Or what is bacteria? Research has identified bacteria as single-celled microorganisms that are everywhere in the air, in the soil and water, on plants, and even in animals. Most bacteria, including those in our intestines, are harmless, however. Some actually help by digesting food and destroying disease-causing microbes, according to the Mayo Clinic, which also notes that fewer than 1% of bacteria can cause disease in people. And what about viruses? They are much smaller than size in bacteria and can't survive without a living host. Did you know the largest virus is smaller than the smallest bacterium? A virus attaches itself to cells and usually reprograms them to reproduce until the cell bursts and dies. Also, unlike bacteria, most viruses do cause disease. They can turn normal cells into malignant or cancerous cells, and they're smart about the cells they attack, choosing specific organs, systems in our bodies, or even our blood. Common viral infections include the common cold, chickenpox, measles, HIV, and most recently, COVID-19. Examples of bacterial infections include gonorrhea, tuberculosis, strep throat, and urinary tract infections, better known as UTIs. On a side note, let me just explain, not all viral or bacterial infections lead to diseases. Research from the Mayo Clinic says disease occurs when the cells in your body are damaged as a result of the infection. Now that you know some background information on the differences between bacteria and virus infections and some examples of each, I can explain how most bacterial and viral infections are treated. Prescribed antibiotics from your doctor can kill the bacterial infection. Many types of antibiotics exist, and they all work to keep bacteria from growing and dividing. Also, despite frequent requests of antibodies, they cannot treat viral infections. This will only create bacteria that have become resistant to the antibody and could kill off any good bacteria in your body. Antiviral drugs inhibit the development of viral infections spreading, but do not specifically kill the virus. These kinds of infections generally resolve on their own without treatment, so any drugs are typically aimed at giving relief from the symptoms like pain, fever, and cough. With this new information, I hope you learned something new today about some of the differences between bacteria and viruses and their infections. But that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for listening to All the Science.